Right, so a quick video about knives, my knives, and where I am up to with them. So I'm going to start with this one, and before I start, I know what I'm going to say is that people say, oh, you're obsessed with knives. So I'm sat here with a collection of knives, and I know there's a couple hiding somewhere I haven't found, but I'm also sat at a desk where there's probably just as many screwdrivers as there are knives. And I'm the same with hammers. I've got loads and loads of different hammers. And if you wanted me to put a picture up, you wouldn't want me to go and get my big sledgehammer to put a picture tack frame thing up, would you? No, you want a tack hammer. So that argument's irrelevant. These knives all have a place. They all have a job to do. And I've never quite understood why anybody would want to sort of like waffle on about why I want so many knives. So this knife is my K-bar, and I've had this quite some time now. Never really gets used. It's a shame. It's a lovely knife, but it's sharp. And this would be, to me, the sort of knife you would take down the allotment and use down there. It wants a bit of TLC really. But that's me, my K-bar. I'm going to put that one out of the way. Now my next sort of biggish knife is this one. And the actual knife I love. I only bought this. It was only cheap. It was only a £10 knife. And you can see it's just where we're looking. There we are. Bit of rust there, isn't there? So this was to practice sharpening more than anything else. It's got quite a nice feel to it. It sits in your hand quite well. But I just don't like that. That is just complete and utter crap. That. It's a shame really, because, well, what can you say? But that again has a place and a use, and does get used there actually. It lives in the kitchen, lives in the kitchen drawer, and it gets used for bits and bobs. That's probably why it's a bit blunt. I'll say blunt. It's probably sharp enough for most people, but it's not sharp enough for me. So that is it says Anglo Arms Nomad 2. I don't think it'd be it's not an everyday carry, is it? It's not something that you're going to walk around with strapped to your belt. It's a bit too heavy like that, and just these bits here, they spoil it. Should have had a nice sheath on that. But still, not to worry. So if we're going carrying on down that theme of knives in size, so this is the one that lives in my bag. This is a Swedish Mori knife, and I really like this. I paid about £12 for this knife, and it does keep its edge, does get used. I like the fact it's in my bag all the time. I know exactly where it is. But yeah, that's my little Mori knife. I don't think you can grumble for the money for that. It's feels good in your hand. It's got a nice grip. That's that one. That's one side. Next, going down in size, I think, well, this one. This is, in actual fact, I got it off a lad from work. It was about £5. It actually does hold an edge, but it just looks a bit intimidating, doesn't it? Really. Something that you could just sort of like leave in glove box at car in case you need a knife. You don't worry about if you lose it. I mean, look, moving away from the camera, I mean, look at all that. It's horrible, isn't it? It's nasty cheap. I didn't really buy it for any other reason. It was just cheap, and that's what it is, cheap. So, we've got 3 little knives here. Now this one, I've had this a long time. I don't actually know where I bought it. I just kind of like the look of it. I even had a go at trying to have a go at engraving. Oh, I'm trying to look at the camera. There's the camera. And no, this is the sort of knife you just throw in your toolbox. It gets abused and you don't care if it's broke or lost. It's not something that you want to carry all day long. Now my little lamb's foot. Now I've had this a long time. I had this when I worked at Lord's Builders Merchants. They used to sell them in there. It's a CK lamb's foot, and I have another one of these with a locking blade. It's slightly longer, and it's not actually a bad little knife. It's very good. It's been used a lot. You can see it's. Oh, where's the camera? It's had some abuse, but the only problem with a knife that doesn't lock is you have to be very, very careful with them, especially if they're very short, because if they suddenly fold up, you can end up making a mess of your finger. But that again, these are £12 on Amazon. They're still £12, so they're not a cheap knife, and they are. I calls it a farmer's knife, sort of thing a farmer would have in his pocket. Now this one, I got a job lot of these, and this is actually meant to be like a one-handed opening knife, so you can. It's full of rubbish, there's all sorts of stuff dropping out of it, and it isn't actually a bad little knife. However, the little nuts, if that's what you want to call them, nuts and bolts have dropped out, so it's very, very loose. But it holds an edge. And the only thing I don't really like about it is the serrated bit. I'm not right keen. I think I'd rather have a whole blade that's serrated and none. There's lots of mucking now. So that just lives in the garage. If anyone ever wants a spare bit, I know people that still have one of these. I bought a lot and sold them. I think I bought 10. And it's not actually a bad little knife. You don't mind if you lose it, do you? It's grand for work. Now, Miss Smith & Wesson. Absolutely love this little knife. Feels just right in your hand. And there was a sheath for it, but the stitching started to go where it attaches to your belt, and I'm a bit disappointed really, because I really do like this knife. This lives on my desk, and it's just it's sharp enough without being silly. Could probably just do a bit of a touch up, but this lives. I have a cup, an old cup with loads of pens in, and this lives in there, and it's just a quick little go-to knife, and it's actually it's called a caping knife. This is what apparently when they're hunting and perhaps kill a bear, when they're skinning it, this is the knife that you would use around the delicate areas like its face. They come in different sizes, these particular Smith and Wesson knives. But actually I have 2 of these. I lost the first one and I bought another one. Not dear, they're about £15. And these, like I said, they're really nice. I love the rubber handle. There's something about this rubber handle. It's not sticky. What's a good clean? It says bullseye on the blade there, but just a right nice little knife. But again, one of the problems we have with these sheath knives, if you're wearing a jacket and this is on your belt, then you just can't quick pull it out of your pocket, or just you've got to lift your coat up, and then you've got to put it back, and your coat's probably come back down, and so that's one of the most frustrating things with these sheath knives. Now, in my quest to find the ultimate knife, I bought this, and I always wanted one of these. This is an Opinel, and I absolutely love this knife. I love the feel of it, I love the design of it. Just dead plain simple knife, and this again was only a tenner. When you think that is actually more, they're about, I'm sure they're £12 on Amazon. And then you look at something like this, unusual locking device, and a locking device, and it's just a really nice knife. Comes very sharp, wants touching up a little bit. just this lovely handle. Now the problem is with this is if it's not in this sheath, it's in your pocket, or in my case it's in my EDC. And in order to get it out, what you need to do, obviously get it out, then you've got it in your hand, and you can't just open it, because it's got to be locked really when it's in your pocket. So you've got to, and it's quite sort of like stiff. So as much as I like it, that's the one thing that's been quite frustrating. And I wanted a one knife very similar to this that just flicks open. The only thing is, I'm just not quite happy with these little, whatever they're called, little nodule things on the side. They just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Now then, I decided that I wanted to buy something a little bit more expensive and up the game. All these knives are all quite cheap, so I splashed out as a little reward to myself, and I bought a Spyderco. And I watched loads and loads of videos, and this is it. This is number 13, this. And the reason it's called number 13 is I bought it when I got down to 13 stone. And it cost me £47 something or other, so we'll call it 48 delivered. And it's so easy to flick open and put it back. And I've got to be honest, it does feel, this plastic, it's an unusual plastic, and I think it's good quality plastic, but because it's plastic, it does feel a cheaper knife. So to the unknowing, they would think that this is just a cheap knife, but to the people that know what knives are about, they'll know that this is a nice Spyderco. Came very sharp, doesn't need anything, and when it falls back into the close position, it's just enough to stop it coming open in your pocket. This clip can be altered to 4 different directions, whichever way you want it in your pocket. I have used it, and it's very nice. There's no edges, sharp edges on it, anything. But since buying this knife, I've just having it in my pocket now. I can't think of anything apart from a pair of trunks that I don't own that doesn't have a pocket in. I've always either got a sweatshirt on or a waistcoat. I'm not one for keeping knives and stuff in my pockets, in my pant pockets. I just don't like the feel of them. And yesterday when this arrived, one of the first things to arrive after it was this box. In this box came a pair of goggles, or I should say a pair of glasses, which is another story. And the first thing I did, I had this in my hand, put my hand in my pocket, out it came. I'm trying to look at the camera, and that's how easy it is. And then you just put it away in your pocket and your back. You don't need 2 hands. And there was a few other things yesterday, packaging, and I just put my hand in my pocket, out it came, did the biz, back in. Not a problem. I absolutely love it. It feels right. It's not too intimidating. Sharp enough. I think you could take it sharper, but I don't want to. I think if I want a really sharp knife, then I'm going to go and get a really sharp knife, which is something totally different. The sharp knives, it just depends what you're doing, doesn't it? But there it is, number 13. It's absolutely lovely. Can you get a bit closer? Just that lovely movement. Now then, something else that came yesterday. I did a video a couple of weeks ago on an EDC, and on Amazon I saw this. This is it's not to replace my other EDC. I just wanted to have a look at it. It was £2.50. And I just thought, how can they make something for £2.50? And there's pockets in it. Same on the outside, there's a decent pocket of your phone. My phone fits in there, no problem. And I just thought, do you know what? That's just a nice little bit of kit, that. Just for anything really, innit? If you're out and about. And again, if you was to sort of like start putting knives in, if you suddenly need a knife, you've got to get to it, haven't you? I mean, I carry my Leatherman. My Leatherman's about somewhere. I've been using it this morning. And that's the same. That's a one-handed opening knife, whatever it may be. I don't want to get it because, oh yeah, I can reach it. And again, this is so simple to open. But the only thing I have against Leatherman is its weight in your hand. You tend to want to. You have to really get a grip of it, and because it's all metal like that, it just tends to feel a bit slippy in your hand. You've got to be really, really cautious. But this one, you can just. Oops, I'm not putting it back proper. We're busy looking elsewhere then, shouldn't do. So that's it really. That's where we're up to with my knives. Like I say, everyone gets a bit arsey and says, why do you need so many knives? Well, in future I'm just going to say, well, why do I need so many hammers? Because as far as I'm concerned, it's under the same thing, isn't it? So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that.